Yes, my name is Yolanda. I'm with Your Voice Media. Alrighty. Okay, so this was a really interesting movie. It weaved a lot of themes, and I wanted to ask you, Asjha, and I know Marty, I've already seen an interview with you regarding this question, but I would love to have you answer it again. What was your reaction when you saw the lead character was a young girl of color?
My reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to cry, especially because she was a darker skinned woman of color. And I
Yeah.
felt like I do not see that a lot. I did growing up. Growing up, I definitely grew up with Gabrielle Union, Nia Long, Moesha, Brandy as the leads. But when I came into the industry, it was mostly, a certain type of Black woman, and it was what was closest to white, and it was mostly biracial girls with Eurocentric features, and that doesn't look like me. So I was very happy that they were it was specifically carved out for a darker skinned Black woman, and that was one of the themes of the movie. I feel like it's definitely not talked about enough. So I was really happy. I felt very seen.
Right. Do you think that if it's talked about more, and this is for Marty, if it's talked about more, that maybe our society will have like a cultural shift where we're not so color fixated?
Absolutely. This needs to be normalized. We need to see more people of color at the helm of a story, so that we're not looking at people just by their skin, but we can see so much deeper, and we can explore what people are, not, really, in other films where it's like a white male lead, we're not focusing on him being white and male. We're discovering like how he feels inside, how he's functioning in his life, and now we do have so much focus on skin, but it's great because this is a jumping off point of like, we all have so much more inside of us, and this is going to normalize it, which is something I've been waiting for my whole life.
Right. Asjha, your character Shauna deals with a lot of insecurities. What insecurities did you deal with in your teenage years, and how did you get through them?
Honestly, every single thing that she dealt with. I was telling Marty that I felt like Shauna was a younger version of myself. It was baby Asjha. Like everything with colorism and everything with just feeling desirable and worthy of love and wanting a boy to like her, but a boy liking a specific type of girl. In our community, that is very much the case. I mean, even in all forms of media, just not in the entertainment industry, but also in the music industry. When I would watch music videos, I would still only see the same type of girl, the people that they're singing or rapping about, that all the guys wanted was a type of girl that didn't look like me. So yeah, all of the insecurities that Shauna has, I also had growing up. And what I love about the movie is that Shauna gains her confidence from within. It wasn't from, her best friend who was so uplifting throughout, telling her how beautiful she was, but it wasn't through him. It wasn't through her family members. It wasn't through, this guy finally kind of showing her attention. It was through herself and her seeing that she's worthy of love and that beauty is from within, and that confidence. And that was very similar to me as well. I realized that I can't put my worth in other people because that's ever changing. Like, I'm just going to have to find it within, and I'm just going to have to believe it myself. And that's just kind of how it happened.
Right. Marty, did you deal with any insecurities as a teenager?
Oh my God, major. I grew up in a town where I was the only Asian person in the school, and besides my brother. And so the definition of beauty was always, Western features. I used to pinch my nose so that I would have a skinny nose. And within Filipino culture, we deal with colorism as well. I was always told, stay out of the sun because you don't want to be dark because that's ugly. And so for me, it was always like, I'm not naturally beautiful the way that I am. I have to change my face. I have to protect myself so not to be seen so that I can be more white. And it really messes with you because you see it on TV, you feel it from your parents, from everybody around you. And to make a movie that finally says, love who you are, love everything about you just the way that you are, we're redefining what it is to be beautiful. And to be part of that change is, I mean, like, I'm getting tingles right now. Like, I love that, because it's everything that I've dreamt of saying to the world. And now we're saying it on such a huge level that is going to change the way the world sees women of color. And that is so beautiful to me.
Yeah. Something off of what Marty said that I love is that this movie, it's like, we don't just acknowledge it, we truly embrace it. We're saying that the skin is beautiful, and I think that that's important. You can't just, like, you know, just have representation, but then the representation is still a stereotype. It's like, this representation of Shauna is, it's still, they're saying that your skin is, it's positive. Like, you know, it is a benefit, especially in this movie of, you know, what this movie is about. And I feel like that's what just people need to see, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That really resonated with me listening to that, because I was like, yeah, this needs to be talked about. This needs to be explored.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that the film took that avenue to do so. I also like it weaved in so many different themes. I thought it was very cleverly done. You have like the Black Lives Matter protest, the history of slavery, the devastation of Katrina, the disenfranchisement of the people, addiction, poverty. And those would be considered like real life vampires in our society. How do we combat those? Or, I mean, it might be a loaded question, but how can we combat some of these vampires?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's funny because our villain, what he wanted was, I agreed with. It was just the way that he went about it, which was very villainous. But his whole thing about getting involved, that's how you combat these villains. That is how we fix these issues, is that we have to get involved on every level. We have to continuously and constantly talk about it, because that's how people get away with things, is that people forget, you know, we get distracted because we're trying to live life and we're just trying to survive, but then the powers that be are making these decisions on our behalf and we don't know. And then that's how we end up in this, you know, the situations that we've been in, you know? And so I just feel like that's how we combat it, is continuously voting on all levels, not just the presidential level, but on mayor level, even who's on the board of education, those things matter.
Right.
You said that so eloquently, and I couldn't agree more. It's always keeping it at the top of our minds that there is inequality. What can we do to change that? You know, whatever level of whatever career is, how can we do that in entertainment or in school, making school policy or voting? There's action that we can all take, and as long as we're talking about it and taking the action to move us forward, then we will keep, you know, evolutionizing to a more equal place to live in.
Well, thank you so much. That was a great interview, great movie, and much success to both of you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.